it's round number 2 of the Euroformula Open in 2023. Coming from Spa-Francorchamps, there we saw a glimpse of the thrilling action we saw at the opening round in Portimao. 3 thrilling races there, and hopefully we're in for 3 thrilling more here at Spa, round number 2. It's Noel Leon who leads the championship going into this round by default, as Tim Tramnitz is not here, and he's the car starting on pole position as well. My name is Chris Stevens. Alongside me is Chris McCarthy, and Chris, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, this is going to be absolutely fantastic stuff, isn't it? Really, really great to be back in weather. Absolutely beautiful here around the Spa circuit. As you can see there, what a view that is, Chris. We can see just the drone shot looking over the grid as the drivers get set and ready to go. Beautiful conditions out there. I was just up at the top of Radion in the grandstand there, and the view as the Italian F4 cars came up was mega. This is going to be even more. The fans really going to be treated here, as we can see our pole sitter, his first pole since coming over to Europe to race single-seaters, Noel Leon.
Absolutely, the North and Central American F4 champion, the US F4 champion as well. This is first year racing in Europe, as it is for Kian Shields in the number 73, having come over from Europe, and only his second year in single-seaters as well. There is Francesco Simonazzi for BVM Racing. He took his first win on the road last time out in Portimao. He did win in Red Bull Ring last season, but as a result of a 5-second time penalty, and I doubt that feeling will have compared to crossing the line first in Portimao a few weeks ago. Josh Mason in his return to the championship for Crypto Tower Racing. He's on the number 21 car, 4th position on the grid. Ahead of this man, Bryce Aaron, second American in the field. Another of the Motor Park stable, Team USA Scholarship winner. And another driver who's come over from the GB3 championship over the last couple of years. And Gerard G, the rookie, the top rookie of the field. And you were saying, Chris, he only had his seat fitting on Thursday, and he is 6th on the grid. And as a result, will start for tomorrow's race 3 from pole position.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff from Gerard. She coming over from Asia, as did this driver here, Juju Noda, the young Japanese driver who raced in the W Series in the Academy team, but is now moving over to Euroformula Open. Paolo Branjic is going to be on the 5th and final row of the grid, and completing the field will be Vladimir Netesil.
A kiss and a wave to the camera, as we often get from Vladimir. Here are the highlights then from Portimao. It was Enzo Trulli and Tim Tramnitz who provided the vast majority of the action throughout the 3 races. We saw Francesco Simonazzi going right round the outside of absolutely everyone in the first corner, but then this moment here saw him lose a place to Noel Leon. But it was Enzo Trulli who took the victory first time out on his return to the championship. Race number 2 saw even more dramas, as we saw a few cars struggling to get away, and Simonazzi absolutely romped clear at the start, and that set him up perfectly for his first on-the-road victory. But he really had to fight for it, because there was battles aplenty, and the first of many contacts there between Trulli and Tramnitz. They would come to blows later as well, but you can see what it meant to Simonazzi as he took his first win on the road. And the final, and probably the most dramatic race of the weekend from the Algarve, another classic Trulli and Tramnitz fight. Line astern as they went through the first corner. And here we saw Simonazzi really getting his elbows out as well as Trulli made his way through. But this was the decisive moment of the race. Trulli trying to make a move on Tramnitz and ended up spinning. That gave the way for Noel Leon to take his his first victory. It was 3 different winners in the first 3 races, and this is what it means for the championship. Tim Tramnitz technically leads it, but he's not here this weekend, so we can consider Noel Leon the de facto championship leader, just 2 points behind, ahead of Francesco Simonazzi. Trulli, another driver who isn't here this weekend, so Bryce Aaron effectively takes 3rd in the championship ahead of Cian Shields. And it was another closely fought qualifying session as well. Race number 1 as the cars are on their formation lap. We have 13 laps ahead of us, or a maximum of 30 minutes, whichever we hit first. Chris, what are we expecting from this one? Who's your eye out for? Well, actually, we'll come to that in a minute. Here is the grid one last time. Noel Leon and Cian Shields make it a Team Motor Park all front row, ahead of Francesco Simonazzi and Josh Mason on his return to the championship for Crypto Tower Racing. Bryce Aaron is 5th on the grid, ahead of the rookie Gerard G and another of the rookies, Jakob Bergmeister and Juju Noda. They line up on row 4. And the 5th and final row, Paolo Brajnik for NV Racing, and Effective Racing's Vladimir Netashil. Chris, what are you looking out for?
Well, it's, of course, one thing that you spoke a lot about earlier was the switch over to Pirelli tyres after the problems that Hankook had. That led to a slightly different qualifying session than I think regular fans are used to, as we've got double yellows out on the circuit. Must be possibly some repairs going on from what we saw with TCR. That was just out on circuit, so maybe that's been the case there, but they're going to let the Euroformula cars come through, and we will keep you posted as to what's going to happen there. But yes, I think tyres is definitely going to be a part in this race. It's going to be who can get their head round the most. In qualifying, it was a case of getting the tyres up to speed for a few laps, then pushing all the way to the end. Some even scrubbed some of the tyres in at the start of the session. So let's see what the plan is. Noel Leon is a driver who has raced at this circuit in single-seaters before, so he will be trying to use that experience. But Cian Shields stood out to me as the most impressive driver in qualifying, and demonstrated just how powerful the tow is, Chris, down the Kemmel Straight. He was 11 kilometers an hour faster than anyone else when he got a friendly tow from Josh Mason, which didn't help him in terms of lap time. But yeah, I'm very impressed with the driver. As you said, 2nd year single-seaters, over from GB3 like Bryce Aaron. Let's see what he can do.
Absolutely, and of course Noel Leon thinking about the championship as well, going in as the de facto leader. Simonazzi lining up right behind him on the grid as well, and it will be a standing start, unlike the other races that we have with the GT Sport organisation that use a rolling start. We will still have a standing start, and they're not at that point of the advanced single-seater level where you have a paddle clutch as well. It's all on the traditional foot clutch as well, which is something that these guys will be used to, but still a challenging way to have to try and get a car off the line. So it's Leon and Shields on the front row of the grid. They're the ones to keep an eye out for as the lights go out. There is Noel Leon. He'll be lining up on the right-hand side, the left as we now look at it, with Cian Shields, the Brit, lining up alongside him.
Yeah, I tell you what, if we get a good start from Cian Shields, there's Dean McDonald, someone we'll know from GT Racing, a very successful kart racer as well. If Cian Shields can get off the line well, we might see that tow come into play.
We certainly could. Here come the lights then, and round 2 of the Euroformula Open in 2023 gets going now. It's lights out at Spa-Francorchamps, and it was a decent start made by the pole sitter, but Francesco Simonazzi from 3rd on the grid fancies the lead straight away. He leads into La Source. He's got the jump on Noel Leon there, but here comes the long stretch down through the hill, and we're going to go up Eau Rouge, and it's going to be a long run up the Kemmel Straight. Could we see that slipstream in action here for No Leon? Simonazzi is punching here through the straight, and here comes No Leon already, and here comes the rest of the field going to come after him as well. No Leon goes to the outside, and now looking to the inside, almost on the grass, is Bryce Aaron trying to find his way through. Fantastic stuff, and it's Cian Shields on the right-hand side, and Shields takes the lead fantastically into Les Combes.
I tell you what, there was some tactics going on there. No Leon let Simonazzi through at turn 1. There was absolutely no way that was an overtake. He pulled to the outside of the circuit, and I would not be surprised if Shields just lifted off the throttle off the line as well. There was a lot of tactics going on there, and it certainly worked for Cian Shields.
Well, Cian Shields with a fantastic move into Les Combes. He leads now as they go through Porn for the first time, as Simonazzi taking quite a bit of that entry curve into Porn, and getting the car rather excited as he turned into the left-hander, but he's sticking with Shields here, and actually Bryce Aaron, who was the car that ended up facing the grass almost, still in this as well. He's 4th in this train of cars, with No Leon 3rd. Just behind them, I think it's Jakob Bergmeister who's managed to get the jump on his fellow rookie drivers.
Yeah, I remember seeing Jakob in F4 UAE, and we're getting to similar temperatures, I think, to that part of the world here today. Really, really hot there. Fans really enjoying themselves as Cian Shields leads us down towards the bus stop chicane for the first time. He knew exactly how powerful that toe was going to be, and he took advantage. And young Cian Shields leads us into the chicane. But Simonazzi, Chris, is placed very, very well to go back on the attack as we go down the Kemmel Straight this one. That's 1 lap in the books, 1 down, 12 to go.
And Simonazzi is in a prime position here, well, as is No Leon. Remember, Shields was 3rd in that train of cars going down the Kemmel Straight, and he was the one who ended up coming out on top, so maybe No Leon's the one we should be watching now. But here they go, up through Eau Rouge once again. We'll never, ever tire of seeing that fantastic train of cars. And here comes Simonazzi now, not as close as Leon was on the opening lap, but Shields absolutely hugging the inside line on the Kemmel Straight, and Simonazzi pulls out to the outside line. Now, surely he's not going to try and go all the way around the outside. Oh, he makes it work. Fantastic move by Francesco Simonazzi, and he retakes the lead of the race. Well,
there we go. Are we going to see now a case of drivers just waiting until the last lap? And will we even see some, after you, sir, going in towards La Source on the final lap? They've just seen another demonstration of how powerful that toe is in these cars. As we look back at the number 23, Bryce Aaron, he's placed very well in this race, just knocking on the door of the top 3. We're split into 2 groups, the other one being led by our lead rookie, Jakob Bergmeister, who was racing in that F4 UAE Championship earlier this year. Here's a look back at the start. Now, I'm keen to see what exactly happened here, Chris.
Yeah, so it was a nice, well, he practically opens the door, does No Leon.
After you, sir. Yes. There you go. I will take the toe. Thank you very much.
Practically, yeah, probably braked a little bit early, but really, really opened the door for Simonazzi, who just walked straight through it. Wasn't a great start from Cian Shields, was it, on the second row of the grid?
But I think similar case to him, Josh Mason was the car who nearly stalled, hence he's down to 7th, was in 8th, but he's just passed Gerard Shee, and a bit of side-by-side. Juju Noda running somewhere right to the outside there.
And this is Simonazzi retaking the lead that we just saw into Les Combes, right around the outside, practically the same move that Shields put on him and Leon a lap ago, returning the favour there. And ding ding, seconds out, round number 3. Because it's now Simonazzi leading again, and Cian Shields is the one now in the tow. I wonder if they might even just sit back, try and pull away from that chasing pack, because if they squabble too much, they're going to bring the entire field back with them. But this is going to be a slipstreaming game now to the end of the race, isn't it?
It's timing your run. I think Cian Shields even may have lifted off coming through La Source there, just so he can get the best run possible through Eau Rouge and Radion. And now you can see he is surely going to take the lead here, Chris, as we come down the Kemmel Straight. You can see Francesco Simonazzi practically a sitting duck here to the right-hand side of screen in the red and black. Cian Shields, is he going to pull the same move that Simonazzi did to him? Yes, he does, and he goes back into the race lead. So Cian Shields, now our leader. No Leon wants to get involved in this as well in 3rd place.
Yeah, and despite all the squabbling, they're still actually pulling away from Jakob Bergmeister in 5th place. Now, No Leon there fancied a little look up the inside of Simonazzi into Rivage corner, but there was definitely no way through there. And Bryce Aaron is just patiently waiting in the wings for his moment.
Yeah, it's a long game here, and it could be a case of just saving some tyres as well. Josh Mason is the fastest car through the first sector on this lap, and I think he is just about to try and pull a move on Juju Noda. His recovery through the field has begun, and he's looking to put another move in. We can see him in the background. Hard to tell some of them apart, isn't it? But we'll do our best as we can see Francesco Simonazzi here losing touch with Cian Shields, and Noel Leon now, I think, will start to become a little bit impatient, Chris.
Yeah, now look at this. Simonazzi's kind of fallen back here from Cian Shields, and he's going to be worrying more about Noel Leon and his mirrors. I think Noel Leon will be seeing this and thinking, I need to make a move now, and he's going to do so into the bus stop chicane, up on the inside now. Side by side through this final corner, and Simonazzi's just been able to hang on to it, but Leon will have the better run out of the corner here. Now, he won't dive up the inside into La Source, I don't think, because he knows that won't work.
No.
So he's got to sit back, and I think at the moment he's just worried about seeing Cian Shields edge away, because he's now nearly 9/10 clear of Simonazzi with 10 laps still to run.
It was a case, again, just get the perfect gap here, so now you can get that run through Eau Rouge. The view from the bottom of that corner, absolutely spectacular. If you haven't checked it out, you must come and see these cars through there. Here we go, though. I think we're going to see a change, Chris.
Yep, so it's, well, it's a carbon copy, is it? Same again, Simonazzi to the inside. Don't think he's actually taken the racing line once into that corner, but Leon's through, and a little late weave there. That was a bit cheeky.
Yeah, no, Leon, I think, a little bit threatened by what Simonazzi might have done. He got past so early in the Campbell Straight that Simonazzi had time to get back in the tow, close back in again, and maybe try and make a move of his own. So that just goes to show you how long that straight is. Right, now the chase begins. Noel Leon has to get after Cian Shields as they make their way down towards Pouhon, and Simonazzi running slightly wide. He's now going to be vulnerable to Bryce Aaron there in P4, the second of the two cars that we have in our camera view there. You can see at the back. Here's a look at the replay, Chris, and yeah, just getting at the rear end and stepping out on him a little bit, and Simonazzi losing a bit of time there, and now it's down to Bryce Aaron to see if he can make a move of his own.
Yeah, this is not doing Simonazzi any favours at all, is it? He's slowly slipping back and losing touch now with those two leaders, and if he's not careful, Bryce Aaron will make a move on him as well. So the question remains, can Leon now close the gap to Cian Shields? And just seeing a look back at the battle further back, which is Jakob Bergmeister leading the rookie contingent ahead of Josh Mason and Juju Noda.
Yeah, Josh Mason's made a move there, but trying to make a move is Bryce Aaron into the chicane. So Josh Mason up to P6, Jakob Bergmeister next on his list. He may even do that on this lap. But Chris, this is the battle for the last step on the podium. Bryce Aaron can see his two teammates escaping. He wants to make this move now. He's going to wade through La Source, get that gap right, and then he'll try and make that move down the Campbell Straight.
Certainly will. 9 laps remaining, and 2.5 seconds covers the top 4 at the moment, and the one to watch is the battle for 3rd place. Simonazzi's been slipping back, a couple of mistakes for the young Italian. Now in his 3rd season of Euroformula Open, and here comes Bryce Aaron now, the American driver, trying to get around the outside of Les Combes and goes through into 3rd place. So Simonazzi, having led into turn 1, now finds himself down in 4th place.
Change for P5 as well. Josh Mason has got past Jakob Bergmeister. First car in your picture there, coming into Bruxelles. You can see the number 26 of Bergmeister. Second in that queue now, was once leading it when they hit the Campbell Straight, but it is now Josh Mason up to P5. Gap between he and Bryce Aaron, the top 4, 2.5 seconds.
Well, let's see. Josh Mason, a winner in this series, he will now get his head down and see if he can close that gap down to the top 4. He'll be hoping Simonazzi has a go back on Aron again, and they start fighting with each other as we pick up Juju Noda, who's just ahead of young Gerard Ji from Hong Kong.
Yeah, now
last car in queue.
Looking at the back of Bergmeister for the rookie class lead, although ran a little wide in Pouhon, and G running a little wide in Stavolo as well, kicking up some gravel. Jakob Bergmeister leading the rookie contingent at the moment, a 4th generation talent. You might be familiar with his uncle Jörg Bergmeister, a Porsche driver for many, many years, but also his father Tim and his grandfather Willie were drivers, as was his great-grandfather as well.
Tell you what, it's going to kick off for the lead here. I think Noah Leon may even be close enough to make the move on Cian Shields if he wants to. That's a good gap coming into La Source. He's just done the fastest lap as well, beating his own previous best fastest lap, 2:12.5. Here we go. Here's Cian Shields about to lose the race lead because Noah Leon is lining him up now. Was once on pole, wants to get that lead back, Chris.
Took 2/10 out of him on that previous lap, and it's looking very, very handy now for Noah Leon, the man from Monterrey, Mexico, to retake the lead of the race. And this time, Cian Shields does not defend the inside and practically waves Noah Leon by.
Okay, well, there we go.
Interesting.
Well, like we said earlier in the race, is it going to be a case of not wanting to lead on the last lap? Pure cadet car racing tactics going on in Euroformula Open, which is absolutely fantastic to see, I have to say. There we can see number 23, Bryce Aron, who is really breaking clear from Francesco Simonazzi. Josh Mason, the gap between he and the top 4, 3 seconds. He needs to see if he can try and close that down. He's also going to be wary of Jakob Bergmeister behind. We've got our 3 rookies separated by 1.5 seconds. So we've got 2 battles for the lead going on at the same time here. This the battle for the overall lead, though, and Cian Shields, who has allowed Noah Leon to go through, didn't try and fight it too hard. Wanted to stay on the cleaner side of the racetrack down the Kemmel Straight. Noah Leon, though, in the lead. It's a case of now, Chris, can Cian Shields stay in the tow? Noah Leon is going to be treating this like a qualifying lap.
Yeah, and he's certainly pulling a lot of time on it at the moment. Was 8 tenths
wow.
quicker than him in the middle sector alone. He has absolutely rocketed off. And, well, we were saying, is Cian Shields letting him through so he can follow him? Can he follow him?
Yeah.
Can he keep up with this pace?
Very good question. Is he saving some in the bag? Let's find out as they come out of the final chicane. Let's get the gap then. Once they cross the line, it was half a second last time they crossed the line with Cian Shields in the lead. It's 8 tenths of a second. I'd say he's close enough to get a tow down the Kemmel Straight and bring him back a little bit closer. But I am keeping one eye on Bryce Aron as well, because only 1.4 seconds back. If a battle is to kick off between the top 2, then he would be there to pounce. So we do have to keep an eye on him. Here we can see our rookies. The rookie battle being led by Josh Mason, who is ahead of Jakob Bergmeister. Then there's Juju Noda, easy to pick out in the white and red colours as she comes down the the Kemmel Straight. Is she going to make a move in the background? There we go, Juju Noda to the inside of Jakob Bergmeister, and it's going to be a change for the lead in the rookie class as Juju Noda dives down the inside. Fantastic driving. She goes through the P6, Chris.
Much more competitive between these two than we saw in Portimao, and I'm sure a weekend of both drivers finding their feet and dealing with various struggles, and now maybe with a bit more of time in the car and under their seat, they will be able to challenge a little bit more. And now Gerard Ji is trying to get involved in that fight as well, because Noda's just really pulling away already.
Yeah, now we see Gerard Ji. Now he will want to get through as quickly as possible. As we said earlier, seat fitted Thursday, first day of practice round this circuit, and this car Friday, and now his first race in Euroformula Open, and great to have him with us. We got to speak to him and Jamie Crockford yesterday, who's working with him. And absolutely fantastic to see Gerard out there and fighting away for the rookie lead.
Yeah, got it a bit lively in the middle of the Fagnes chicane there, did Gerard G. But yeah, now looking at the back of Bergmeister for what is 7th overall and 2nd in the rookie class. Although look at this, Bergmeister's really brought the gap back down again in that half a lap since. Could be the power of the toe, but he's certainly an awful lot closer than he was. 6 laps remaining then in the first race of the weekend for the Euroformula Open drivers. And it is Juju Noda we're currently watching in 6th place overall, leading the rookie class. And Jakob Bergmeister started his season off on the back foot when it was a broken throttle that stopped him from taking the start in his debut race in Portimao, but then he quickly came back with 2 rookie class wins after that, and now he's looking to regain the lead of that class up on the inside. It was a late one here, and Noda chops the nose of Bergmeister there, and he had to back out of that very quickly indeed. And Gerard G now right on the back of him to see if he can pick up any of the pieces.
Yeah, sensible driving from Jakob Bergmeister there just to take his foot out of that one. We've still got some way to go in this race yet, so plenty of time for Jakob to go and make a move, and Gerard is now just behind him as well. Here's your 2 leaders. Gap between them was 1 second when they crossed the line, and it came down to 7/10 of a second down the straight. So yeah, it's that toe incredibly powerful, but Kian Shields just starting to lose touch, you feel now, with Noel Leon. Here is a look a little bit further down the field at Netterseal.
Into the bus stop chicane here. And gone for a little rotation there. Just started to lose the back end in the middle of the chicane there, but looks like he's got going again.
It's great stuff, this, from Noel Leon. You can see why he was a champion over in the US. Did the Formula Regional Championship last year as a Red Bull Junior, and now will feel he has a point to prove, taking the same path we saw Ollie Gerfer take, and many other drivers who have come through this championship as well, Chris, some of which are going to be racing in the Indy 500 this weekend. One on pole position, we've got the likes of Alex Palou and Colton Herter, all former drivers, and Jack Aitken, another Dorian Boccolacci, who's been racing in Monaco this weekend in the Porsche Super Cup. The list goes on and on. We've got plenty of F2 drivers, the likes of Zane Maloney, Roman Stanek, Brad Benavides, and then F3 drivers as well, the likes of Alex Garcia, Rafael Villa-Gomez, Christian Mansell. It's an incredible alumni of drivers and champions as well. Felipe Drugovich, one of those, reigning Formula 2 champion.
The list goes on and on, doesn't it? Very successful careers brewing from drivers who have been in this championship. And here is Gerard G getting his elbows out, but again, not quite close enough to make the move into Les Combes. Gerard G, the reigning Chinese F4 champion and Formula Renault Super Challenge champion as well, on both of those last year. Did the first 2 rounds of GB3 this year and has decided to come over and race in Europe for the first time at just 16 years old. And I'm going to say I am mightily impressed with Gerard's performance so far.
Yeah, I hope we see him stay. I mean, it's a great step over, and he has clearly learned very quickly. So with some more time in the car, then yeah, I'd say it's going to be a real fantastic experience for him. So I do hope we see him stick around, as we can see Kian Shields trying to get after Noel Leon here. It's it's cooling down in the commentary box now, thanks to our technical support, but it's definitely heating up out there, Chris.
Yes, you
kind of wondered what happened there, but that just goes to show it's very hot here.
Very hot indeed. Yes, it's surprising. No one told me it was going to be this hot at Spa-Francorchamps. I brought jackets and everything. I didn't need to.
So did I.
It's unbelievable weather, but yes, it's definitely heating up on the track. Last time I looked, the track temperature was in excess of 40 degrees, which I don't think these guys were expecting as well. We've got a little replay here of our race leader, Noel Leon, going through the bus stop chicane. A little flutter of the wings as he goes over the curves. Look at
Beautiful
that.
shot, isn't it?
Textbook, absolutely textbook. Coming down the Keppel Straight once again, then 4 laps remain in this race, and the top 3 really have pulled away from Francesco Simonazzi. Now 4.5 seconds clear of the Italian.
I think Cian Shields could be coming under danger from that man there in the 23 very soon. Bryce Aron, last time round, did a 2:12.9. He was 2/10 quicker than both the leaders. The leaders were separated by 0.05 of a second in their lap time, but Bryce Aron, 2/10 quicker. He's the man on the move. There we can see him on screen. A trophy in itself isn't good enough. He wants to go for P2 or even P1. He is running out of time. All it takes is one mistake from that man there, and he could lose 1 or 2 positions down the Kemmel Straight. So Noel Leon will be aware of that. He'll be keeping an eye in the mirrors. Cian Shields will be doing the same because they are equidistant now in their gaps. Just under 2 seconds separates our top 3.
And both Shields and Aron in their first season racing in Europe, both of them coming from previous racing experiences in the UK. Cian Shields being a GB3 race winner last year in what was his first season of car racing, whereas Bryce Aron did come over from the US as a Team USA scholarship winner, and did do GB3 over the last couple of years as a race winner, and both of them now in their first season racing in Europe with the Motor Park stable. That's Noel Leon there getting the back end going through the bus stop chicane. But I think you could be right, Chris. It definitely seems to be closing up between our top 3 now with only 3 laps to go.
Yep, there is Cian Shields, man who, although racing in the UK, they do come to Spa in that championship. So he has raced here before and got 2 top 10s here. So did clearly enjoy his time here, Cian Shields, and we are seeing that now. But what about Noel Leon leading the way, but for how much longer? Is he going to be able to stay there? Is he going to be able to build a gap? Has Cian Shields been saving something, Chris, in reserve for these final few laps? Questions that will be answered over the next 2 3/4 laps, I'd say, as they make their way down to Les Comps. Noel Leon tipping the car in. Absolutely fantastic, the pace they carry through there. Simonazzi has very much fallen away in 4th place, 6 seconds behind these guys. Mason likewise has cleared off from that rookie battle. Will be disappointed that he got that brief stall off the line, eventually getting going, but there are still 2 more races to go this weekend.
I think not a bad performance for somebody coming back into the championship, and probably, I'm not actually sure. When was the last time he did a standing start?
He was racing in the Formula Regional Oceania Championship, wasn't he, earlier this year, which was
yes.
a tour around New Zealand. I'm sure that was a fantastic experience for Josh Mason. It was really great to see him go and do that, actually. Finished 8th, took 1 win in that championship as well. So, but that runs throughout February and March, or so it's, yeah, if that was the last time he raced, then yeah, it's been a good few months.
Yeah, definitely a little
completely
bit,
different car as well,
yeah.
of course. So.
Oh, Jakob Bergmeister, we just see on the timing screen, has retaken the rookie class lead.
Carried way too much speed into there. Noel Leon, that's it. Right, gap's going to come down now, surely, to Cian Shields. What is it across the line? 8/10.
Here's that moment again. Wow, what a save, though. Fantastic stuff from Noel Leon, but clearly still feeling the pressure from behind and having to push.
I don't know, maybe he did it for the slow-mo. Who knows?
Good social media clip,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that has brought the gap down to under 9/10 of a second, 2 laps remaining. And I will say Bryce Aaron's actually fallen away a little bit. He's now 1.3 seconds behind Cian Shields. So with 2 laps to go, it looks like it's going to be a dogfight between Noah Leon and Cian Shields for victory in race number 1. And I think Noah Leon now is just going to be checking in his mirrors, because look at the power of the slipstream. It's brought it down to under half a second now.
It's halved the lead. Cian Shields, all he has to do is keep this gap now. Keep a gap of 4/10, and then the win very much could be yours next time we hit the Kemmel Straight. But that's easy to say from a commentary box. Very much different when you've been out there pushing hard in this heat as well in these cars. And Cian Shields will now know that he has a possible opportunity. Noel Leon will know the same thing, and he might be a bit nervous next time he hits that bus stop chicane.
Yeah, what do you do with that? Are you going to just take it super careful through there next time, or you got to adjust something? But you don't want to just invite the guy behind you to get up the inside.
A champion, though, isn't he? And he's dealt with pressure like this many a time on his way to winning titles over in the States. He's going to have to recall on that now to go and defend from Cian Shields, but a fantastic second sector. Look at that recovery from Noel Leon, 6/10 quicker than Cian Shields. That is how you do it.
That is, well, no pressure on the last lap now then, and of course, Noel Leon, the last time he won a championship, did so in one of the sport races for the US Grand Prix, so definitely made an impact there in front of the right people. Wow. Much neater this time through the bus stop chicane for our race leader.
Yeah, really good stuff from him, Cian Shields. Let's get the gap then. 8/10 brought it down to 4/10, 8/10 again. Ooh. So we can expect something similar, I'd say.
Now, yes, he brought it down to 4/10 in the first sector, so let's see if we get a similar result. Could that put Cian Shields in the perfect position for a last corner lunge at the bus stop chicane, I wonder?
And Noel Leon's looked great through the second sector, though. Let's see. Here they come. Up Radion now. The cars appear into view for those stood right at the top. And they take the run down the Kemmel Straight. And Noel Leon doesn't even really need to go defensive. He's going to weave slightly, isn't he?
Trying to break the toe
just to
there,
break the toe. And Cian Shields will come down to half a second. So a good run through the first corner, clearly, for Noel Leon.
Absolutely. What's the run going to be like through the second sector? This could be make or break stuff to decide this race. We are on the final lap of the first race of round 2 of the Euroformula Open in 2023.
I've got to say, it's very close for the rookie lead as well. Jakob Bergmeister and Juju Noda are split by 71 thousandths of a second. I think they've just swapped places, so that battle for the rookie win is certainly going to go down to the last corner. Bergmeister and Juju Noda going head-to-head here, Chris. But Noel Leon is the man leading the way out front ahead of Cian Shields.
He very much looks in command of this now, doesn't he? Just got to keep it on the black stuff and make sure he doesn't give Shields too much of a toe on the run towards Blanchimont. This is going to be the critical corner now. Exit Stavolo and through the curve Paul Frere. Make sure you have the good momentum, and that looks like a very healthy gap indeed. So for Noel Leon, he is set for back-to-back victories in the Euroformula Open after taking his first win of the championship in race number 3 last time out in Portimao. Benefited a little bit, it must be said, for the issues of Enzo Trulli and Tim Tramnitz, but this time he has done it all on his own. A fantastic drive, a strategic one as well with the slipstream at play. Noel Leon, the man from Monterrey, Mexico, wins race number 1 of the Euroformula Open at Spa-Francorchamps, 1.1 seconds ahead of Cian Shields in the end, and Bryce Aaron on the podium as well. It is an all-team motorpark podium, a great day for that team. Josh Mason ended up getting Francesco Simonazzi there right at the end of the race for 4th place. Fantastic. And Juju Noda on the last lap of the race manages to steal the rookie class win away from Jakob Bergmeister as well for 6th overall, with Gerard G in 8th.
Wow, some things went on, didn't they? On that last lap, you had Mason just slipping past Simonazzi for 4th. Noda, who did briefly drop back behind Bergmeister, then got back ahead again. What a last lap that was.
Certainly was. The car's already back in Parc Fermé, because unlike most racetracks at Spa, they bring you the wrong way down the pit lane as soon as they get around the first corner. So very little time to collect our thoughts, or even. But yeah, great performance from this man, Noel Leon, the 18-year-old. Celebrations with the team, I'm sure, will commence shortly.
Yeah, superb driving from Noel Leon. Is starting to get that confidence back that we saw in 2021 that saw him win those titles.
Here's confirmation of the results then. Noel Leon takes his second win of the season ahead of Cian Shields and Bryce Aaron, with Motorpark represented on all three steps of the podium. Josh Mason for Crypto Tower Racing in fourth, ahead of Francesco Simonazzi for BVM Racing. And the rookie class winner, Juju Noda for Noda Racing, and Jakob Bergmeister separated by only 0.6 of a second in the end, with Gerard G 8th on his Euroformula Open debut, and the gold class going to Paolo Brashnik in 9th. And this is what it's done to the championship. Now Leon now leads by 18 points ahead of Francesco Simonazzi. Tim Tramnitz still remains third, but Bryce Aaron closing that gap down in fourth. Cian Shields up to 6th now in the standings.
The last 3 laps was 3/10 of...
Oh, let's have a listen to Noel Leon here talking to his team.
Yeah, something like this. But also was too much hectic, too much flicking.
Oh my goodness me, now this is what happened on the last lap. That was Juju Noda flying across the curbs there. At the, well, we need to see what happened fully. Was she ahead there before the corner? Did she overtake off the track? My goodness me, the rookie, well, you said the rookie stuff was going to be dramatic and going right down to the wire. It certainly did. But here's another look at our top three. It's Bryce Aaron, the American driver for Team Motorpark from Illinois, the 19-year-old in third place. In second place there is Cian Shields, the young Brit, still only in his second year of single-seater racing and been incredibly impressive. But it was this man, the man from Monterrey, Mexico, the 18-year-old, the two-time F4 champion, winning for the second time in a row in the Euroformula Open.
1, 2, 3, prova.
Noel, it wasn't that easy at the end.
No, it's for sure. I mean, happy to get the win, but we need to get some work for tomorrow. You know, it was not close, and as well, I was struggling a lot during the race, but I'm happy with the win, and thanks for the job of Motorpark.
The start was lively also.
I mean, was a little bit planned to be done first in Eau Rouge, but at the end, the slipstream is quite a lot here. So then going 3 wide, I think so. I mean, at the end, the result, we get it, so it was nice.
But you made it.
Yeah.
Good, well done.
Here's a look back at the highlights then for race number 1 at Spa-Francorchamps. Noel Leon led away from pole position, but it was not plain sailing for him. It seemed like he let Francesco Simonazzi through into turn 1 to get the slipstream up the hill. But it was actually Cian Shields who ended up coming out on top, despite the efforts of Bryce Aaron there on the left-hand side, all over the grass as well. But on the right-hand side, Cian Shields swooped through to take the lead on the opening lap. The young Brit taking advantage there of the tactics being played by the drivers behind him. Simonazzi fought back a lap later and regained the lead into Les Combes in a very similar fashion. And the rookie class battle absolutely raged on between Juju Noda and Jakob Bergmeister. Here then was Cian Shields getting the lead back again into Les Combes, with Noel Leon waiting in the wings. It was certainly very close and behind Shields, and then enter Noel Leon, who first passed Francesco Simonazzi for second place. A little cheeky weave there in the braking zone, but ultimately nothing came of it, and then set about after Cian Shields, who didn't put up much of a fight. I'm sure he realised that Noel Leon was the faster driver, and he takes a second consecutive victory in the Euroformula Open. And with it, the championship lead as well.
Yeah, fantastic drive from Noel Leon, and it's, as I said, the confidence is going to be really, really growing with him, and I'm sure drivers who would have raced against him over in the States would say when a driver like him starts to gain confidence like this, it is very, very dangerous for the opponents around, because I think we saw a great example of that. He made a mistake coming into the chicane, had his lead cut down to 0.4 of a second, but regathered himself straight away and put in a second sector that was 0.8 faster than those chasing him. And I think that a pure demonstration of the driver that is, I could say, re-emerging from Noel Leon, having maybe got slightly missing for a year in what was a difficult season for him last year, but he's really starting to come back to form now.
Back the fastest lap point as well, 2:12.507 was his best lap time of the race, and that is an additional point there that he manages to secure for the championship. 18 points clear now, though, of the rest of the field ahead of Simonazzi. Really struggled. I was expecting Portimao to be a bit of a breakthrough weekend for him, but it wasn't to be. Team Motorpark represented on all three steps of the podium. Juju Noda and Paolo Brajnik on the right-hand side there for their rookie and gold class wins, respectively. And of course, Chris, we still have 2 more races to come for the Euroformula Open tomorrow. The first one getting underway at 9:15 tomorrow morning. That will be the results of this race reversed by the top 6. So that's going to be Juju Noda on pole position for tomorrow's morning race, provided there isn't any action from the stewards on what we saw with her flying over curbs at the last corner.
Yeah, Juju Noda quite literally flew into the rookie lead, but we don't know what happened there, and the stewards will. So, but for now, we'll say that she got that rookie win, and it was a hard-fought one as well. So, good driving from her, and entertainment, definitely in the end. We don't even know what happened in the battle with Josh Mason, so it's something we'll have to go and ask him about. But really good stuff, and a great way to kick off the weekend.
Absolutely, and the third and final race of the day getting underway at 3:35 tomorrow as well. All 13 laps, and both of them top 6 reverse grid races as well. The third race being reversed from the results of qualifying rather than the previous race.
Given what we saw down that Kemmel Straight, I don't think people will be complaining too much. We were 4 wide down there.
Absolutely not. The celebrations will begin on the podium, but from us today, that is everything. It's Noel Leon with the victory and the championship lead.